which is a yield. Look at that yield though. That's massive. Guys, that kind of yield is looking really, really good. This share's outstanding. Oh my Lord. I saw this thing and I was just like, look at that. Look at that decrease. Look at that. Bro. Hello, my fellow investors, and welcome back to another viewer requested fundamental analysis video. Today, guys, we're going to continue on with your recommendations. And, well, I would just like to say before we start, so sorry for not uploading yesterday because, yeah, I got home, guys, I got home on Wednesday and I was just exhausted to no end and I just fell asleep. So yeah, I couldn't record anything for Thursday, so yeah, so terribly sorry for that. But nonetheless though, let's take a look at the wheel. Let's spin it to see what company we should analyze today using a fundamental perspective. We got the company HUN. I believe I have done this one before here on the channel. Nonetheless, though, this one was brought up by none other than Tony. Once again, Tony. So here is this comment where he recommended this. So with that said, let's actually get started with this company and see if, well, their fundamentals are any good, if maybe at the current share price is looking like a buy, and then let's take a look at the options chains to see if maybe there's some good premium when it comes to this. So with that said, let's get started with this analysis. And it is the company, guys, Huntsman. Now, I have done this company before, and I gotta say, I don't really quite remember it. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I guess let's just take a look at what this company does. So, coming over here into their company profile, we can see Huntsman Corporation manufactures, sells diversified organic chemical products worldwide. The company operates through three segments: polyurethanes, performance product, and advanced materials. The polyurethane segment offers polyurethane chemicals including methyldiphenyl disocyanate. Sure. Okay. Polyethers, polyesters, polyols, and thermoplastic polyurethane. Okay. The performance product segments manufactures amines and maleic anhydrides. The advanced materials segment offers epoxy, phenoxy, acrylic, and polyurethane, and acrylonitrile butadiene based polymer formulations, and high performance thermoset resins curing. And okay, great. So guys, they make a bunch of materials. Now they are in the material sector, and I gotta say, I actually really do love my material-based companies, right? That's why, aside from just, you know, the mining of the rare earth minerals like gold, silver, iron, or not iron, well, actually, iron, that kind of stuff. Aside from that, companies like these companies are always going to be used, right? These companies are going to be in use. So it's not, you know, the way that I see it is, even though it's very niche, overall, guys, it's a company that we're going to continue using no matter what. So now let's come into their earnings. And you can see that they had earnings on May 5th. EPS normalized actual came in at 20 cents, beat by 5 cents. EPS gap actual 83 cents, beat by 71 cents. Revenue $1.61 billion, which was a miss by $65.15 million. Now, well, the company, I don't really remember what it was last video, but the company, by the looks of it, seems pretty cheap. In fact, taking a look at the discounted free cash flow, we can see that the ticker, it is HUN, market cap of $4.54 billion with a PE of 12.32. Now, just based on this PE alone, guys, it's looking really good with a current share price of $25.04. Taking a look at this graph, we can see that on the 1 year, they're down 11.02%. Year to date, they're down again almost 10%. In fact, the 52-week range, it is $23.53 to $36.46. So yeah, it's looking really good. At least it's looking like a really good opportunity right now to come and buy this company. However, that's just based off of the PE and of course the fact that it's 52-week low. Taking a look at the other metrics, we're gonna come up with a much better representation. However, they do pay a dividend now of 95 cents, which is a yield. Look at that yield though, 3.8%. That's massive. Guys, that kind of yield is looking really, really good. And on top of that, look at that payout ratio too. Now, that's not the payout ratio in regards to the free cash. We're going to take a look at that in just 1 second. What isn't, or at least what could be better, is the 5-year CAGR, 9.37. I would prefer double digits, but still, 9.37 is really solid overall. 2 consecutive years. Now, let's take a look at that dividend history, because with 2 consecutive years, I'm not necessarily certain what's happening. And, well, guys, it's not a case that they cut it. It's actually a case that they just didn't increase it in 2020, which is perfectly understandable to me, right? I mean, you guys can see right here that they didn't increase. In fact, let's take a look at this in the 10-year, and actually, wow. Well, you know what? At least they have a habit of keeping it the same for long periods of time. They've never cut it, going all the way back to 2013. They kept it at 13 cents all the way up to 2017, so for 4 years. And then in 2018, they brought it up to 16 cents, and they kept it the same all the way up to 2021. So I thought it was just a COVID thing, but no, they just have a history of keeping it the same. So it could be worse, but it could also be better, right? It's pretty consistent, which is not too bad. Ex-dividend date passed as of June 14th. Payout date will be on the 30th, and they pay their dividends quarterly. Looking back into the calculator, based off the current shares outstanding, they pay out $172 million in dividends every single year. And after this is paid, guys, guess what? They're still left with $400.75 million. Okay, this is in their average 5-year free cash flow. In regards to the last year's free cash flow, is 470, so that's exactly what you want to see. And take a look at these payout ratios, guys. They're really, really good. Like, they're really, really good. The fact of the matter is that not only can they afford to pay this, but they can continue to increase this if they so wish to do so. You know, I looked at that kind of, payout ratio over here and even 5-year CAGR, and of course, that yields massive, right? That yields massive. Just looking at those, I'm just like, not really, I don't really trust it. But after seeing that payout ratio in regards to the free cash flow, it's telling me that that dividend is 100%, well, I wouldn't say 100% safe. It's very likely safe, right? It's very likely safe. So let's take a look at these fundamentals. Now, we're going to start off with the net income, and unfortunately, could be better, right? Could be better. 5 years ago of $337 million to 1 year ago, $460 million. Take a look at that, guys. You can see that when COVID hit, massive jump, right? Massive jump to what, $1 billion. And then, well, it kind of remained the same, right? From $1 billion, well, from $1.034 billion to $1.045 billion 3 and 2 years ago. And then look at what happened as of 1 year ago. Boom, instant collapse. I would argue going back even to the median, right? To the median of the 4 and 5 year ago value. So this is an example as to you can't just take a look at 2 outliers and be like, oh, that's it. Next one, it'll be $1.5 billion. No, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. So, perfect example as to you have to be careful when you see something like this. All in all, though, on the 5 year, this is still an increase at least of 36%. But I gotta say, guys, the fact that this is lower than 4 years ago and that these 2 outliers happened and came back down, I'm gonna have to give this grade overall, I would say like around like a 30%. Looking now into the free cash flow, this one isn't looking too good. Well, for starters, we got 5 years ago of $956 million to 1 year ago of $642 million. Decrease in the 5 year of 33% with an average of $572.6 million. Now, 3 years ago, there's a massive outlier, right? What's that, $16 million? Guys, that's a massive drop from 4 years ago of 623. But take a look at that. Even from 5 to 4 years ago, it came down too, going from 956 to 623. Now, here's the thing. 2 years ago, it went slightly higher than 4 years ago to what, 626. But all in all, guys, it still hasn't risen much. So this free cash flow, yeah, it's looking good, but it's not looking the best. I'm gonna have to give this thing, I gotta be honest, I have no idea where this is going, right? It's been essentially flat from 4 to essentially 1 year ago. So I'm gonna give this thing, guys, a 50%. Yeah, I'm gonna give this thing a 50%. Looking now into the revenue, this one actually isn't looking too bad, except for the fact that you had a pretty decently sized decrease from 5 to 4. Nonetheless, though, 5 years ago of $7.6 billion to 1 year ago of $8 billion, increase of only a little bit more than 5.5%. You can see that from 5, 4, and 3 years ago, pretty consistently decreasing. 3 years ago, it's understandable, right? COVID. But aside from that, guys, it's not something I want to see. Now, they did rise it a lot higher 2 years ago. In fact, even surpassing that of Yeah, even surpassing that of 5 years ago and then continuing that trend. So I'm going to have to give this thing, I would say, like a 75%. Looking now into the total assets minus total liabilities, not looking too bad. Pretty consistently increasing, except for the fact that after 2 years ago, they brought it down from 4.6 or $4.56 billion down to 3.8. But as you can see, as of today, they're at 3.99, so it's not looking too bad. Average total assets, it is 3.5 billion. Average liabilities is 4.7 billion. Doing this difference, we get 3.78 billion dollars. I'm gonna have to give this thing, I would say, like an 80%. The cash flow minus the liabilities, though, this one's looking really, really good. Now, as of 3 years ago, you can see that that was the lowest point, and 5, 4, and 3 years ago, it's not looking good at all, right? It's not looking good at all, consistently decreasing. But take a look at this. 3, 2, and 1 year ago, that is a massive, massive increase, right? That is a massive, massive increase. 5 billion, or negative 5 billion, negative 4.21 billion, and negative 3.74 billion dollars. Guys, that is a lot lower than that of the average of negative 4.42 billion dollars. All in all, I'm gonna have to give this thing, I would say, at like a 75%. I would give it higher. The problem is that, well, you can still see the decrease from 5, 4, and 3 years ago. But that's understandable. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind on this. Let's give this thing an 85. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's say an 85%. Now, what is amazing is this share's outstanding. Oh my lord. I saw this thing and I was just like, okay, well, no wonder they can afford that dividend, right? Guys, consistently decreasing, even during COVID. That's insane, right? 5 years ago of 233 million shares to today of 180.9 million shares. That is, look at that decrease. Look at that, bro, 22.36%. That's insane. And even from the previous year to the current year, let's look at 1 year ago of 183.6 million to today of 180.9 million. That is almost 1.5%. That's massive. So I'm gonna have to give this thing a 100%. This is looking absolutely amazing. And lastly, cash and equivalents, they currently hold $615 million, with an average of 800 or almost $800 million. Overall grade, we gave the net income, guys, a 30%, free cash flow 50%, revenue 75, assets minus liabilities 80, cash flow minus liabilities 85, shares outstanding 100%. It's there, or at least it's getting there, but man, it just needs just a little bit more, especially in these two fundamentals right here, right? The net income as well as the free cash flow. That really, and again, it's mainly, well, in the form of the net income is those jumps, right? In the form of the free cash flow is the fact that it's been kind of stagnant in a way, or was that the revenue? No, the revenue was the one that's stagnant. The free cash flow was just, it's there. It's just it needs a little bit more oomph. But all in all, 65%. To some people, that might be a buy. Maybe if you guys know a little bit more, it might be a little bit higher. But for me, 65%. It does have a lot of potential though. So with all of that said, now let's take a look at these prices. Well, guys, $25.04 at the current price. And not inputting any of my assumptions, guys, not adjusting for debt, $24.46, and then adjusting for debt, $20.75. Yeah, it's looking good right now. And again, they are near 52-week lows. So this might present itself as a really good buying opportunity all in all, right? So let's make some assumptions now. Let's come over here into Seeking Alpha. We can see that, yeah, they're estimating a revenue growth of negative 4.27%. That's a little bit of a problem. I normally don't like to give out negatives, but I think in this case, I'm going to have to do that. So let's say -2, let's say 0, and then let's say 2%, right, for the revenue. Let's just assume that, right? And then, well, for the predicted share buyback, 22% in the past 5 years. I don't think they'll do that again. Now, here's the thing. Depending on what the share price is. Guys, if a company has a valuation like Nvidia, which shouldn't happen, right? I don't expect them to be buying back shares at that valuation, right? I just don't expect that. If anything, I would be like, you people are stupid if you're not selling your own shares, if you're not issuing more shares. In this case, however, because they're at 52-week lows, I would actually consider them buying back shares more, right? Now, will that continue to happen in the next 5 years? Maybe, maybe not. But let's just assume that, right? Let's just assume for the lowest assumption, assume at like 10%, right? 10%. Let's increase that to, let's say 12? Nah, yeah, 12%, and then 14% for the highest assumption. And, well, guys, $25.19 to $30.32, not adjusting for debt. And they're adjusting for debt $21.8 to $26.03. Margin of safety of 5, 10, and 15, $17.82 to $24.73. So as you can see, even the ones that don't necessarily get there, we're essentially there, right? We are essentially there. That kind of premium of $4 for the lowest assumption and not adjusting for debt, guys, that's something that me personally, if I was into this company, I would absolutely buy this company and be like, yeah, no, I'm buying this thing. I don't, it's a little bit of a premium. So what, right? So what if I were to buy it? Because, what's $4, right? What's $4? At the end of the day, guys, this is what I would do. Obviously, you guys do whatever you want with your money. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. That's why all these calculators are available for free, because, well, you guys should make your own financial decisions for yourselves. I'm not one to make any financial decisions for anybody else. I don't know if I'm going to buy this company. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But if I do, guess what? I'm going to make that decision for myself using these calculators that I made. These are just to guide you, right? These are just to guide you. That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, this is not due diligence. This is not financial advice. And at the end of the day, guys, you have to go out and read by yourselves, right? You have to go out and read that 10K, read the earnings report, even though I think the last video I did do the earnings report for it. Or at least, like, not the last one, but like the previous one after that. I don't know. Yeah, all in all, guys, you have to do your own due diligence. So I'm not here to make that for you. If you do like the content that we make here, Mike does the technical analysis, I do the fundamental analysis. Hopefully we get to grow a little bit more. We'll get to bring some of the new as well, and when we do that, it'll just grow the channel. But it honestly starts with you, right? It honestly starts with you, and the best way that you guys can do that is by, of course, liking, subscribing, commenting. It really does help out with the algorithm on YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody who has done that, and yeah, I just really appreciate it, guys. We reached 2,600 subscribers as of recently, and right now we're climbing up to 2,620. Y'all are crazy. Can we get? Oh, by the way, if we get to 3K by September 3rd, okay? By September 3rd, Mike promised that he would do face cam, all right? Mike promised that he would do face cam, and the reason why September 3rd is because that's his birthday, so he wants to give you guys a gift on his birthday. And seeing that, you guys like the face cam that I do, he's willing to do the same, but we have to reach 3K by September, all right? September 3rd to be exact. So if you guys want to see boy for the first time, then by all means, subscribe, like, comment, and of course share. That's the most important one. So with all of that said, taking a look at now the dividends at the current share price, well, putting in $5,725, guys, almost a 4% yield. That is $217.21. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money, especially seeing this thing at 52-week lows, and the fact that the calculator in general saying that's looking like a very good buy. Yeah, man, this isn't looking too bad in my personal opinion. Really good yield. Even during COVID, they never cut it. They never increased it, but they didn't cut it. They don't have a history of cutting at least the past 10 years. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. The one thing I worry is just that free cash flow, but they were able to pay it during COVID, so it's looking all right in my personal opinion. But then again, guys, please do your own due diligence. And if y'all know something that I missed here on this video, please let me know in the comment section below, and let everybody else know what I missed, right? And why you think that this company isn't exactly the way I said it. And now taking a look at the overall options, and the face camera just went totally dark because of the thing. When it comes to this, guys, we can see that as of July 21st, well, first of all, they have monthly options, and July 21st, it is the first one that we got here. You can see that the premiums aren't looking too bad. For a strike of 24, you're getting $30 for the puts, and well, for the calls, yeah, you're getting pretty much the same for selling a covered call at $26. So yeah, it is what it is. Looking at the August one though, they actually got a lot better. I mean, they actually got a lot better. $23 you get now. Well, sorry, for a strike of 23, you get $35 premium, and for a strike of $28, you get $25. Even for a strike of 27, you get $45. That's a decent amount in my personal opinion. All in all, thank you so much for the recommendation, and Yeah, I mean, I only have one material-based company that is like this, and that's APD. Though, honestly, APD is massive, right? APD is massive. I would argue this one might be better, right? I don't necessarily know. Do your own due diligence, guys. It does have potential. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it a lot, actually. I really do like it. This is a company that even with a 65%, I'd be like, yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it. I don't see them, right? Especially with that cash flow minus the liabilities. That one's amazing. Just buying shares back. That's amazing too. So yeah, I actually don't mind it, even though I gave it the 65. But nonetheless, guys, that pretty much does it for this video. You guys can follow us on the New Tech Sites. Link is in the description below. So with that said, peace out, and we'll see you all next time.